Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in with us today on Facebook Live. I'm Cristina Ruales. I'm a fashion designer based here in Brooklyn, New York. And we did our first Facebook Live last week, and we're trying to start a regular thing where I personally speak to everybody at least one time a week. And we cover all the different kinds of topics that are involved in relation to being a fashion designer, our female empowerment agenda, and the idea of celebrating your individuality. And hopefully, as we touch on these topics, I can inspire some of you to believe in yourself and in each other, and to have more confidence, because that's the key, I think. So we're looking at what I spoke about last time, which was a little bit about Ecuador, a little bit about myself, and so I thought I would segue into a little bit sort of how I got into fashion, or what my path was. So first of all, I would say it's a good idea for all of you guys out there looking for a job or an internship or whatever to sign yourself up on LinkedIn. So you can always go there and check out sort of everybody's professional path, and maybe that'll help in some way. For me, I started after moving here from Ecuador. I moved to the United States to start 6th grade to a suburb of Washington, D.C., and I went to high school there through the 11th grade, and then I applied for early admissions to Parsons School of Design. So luckily I got in, so I moved to New York City after 11th grade, and I was super young, and it was really fun. And I moved here and therefore went to Parsons, started my foundation program, and I really do hope one day that there will be some sort of free education in the United States for university, the way it's affordable, or at least affordable in Europe, for example. And because for my family, it was really tough. I'm one of 5, and obviously I don't think my parents, my mom and my stepfather were thinking that I was going to go to college at 16, so I already had 2 brothers in college. So by the time I surprised them saying I was going a year early, I basically got to go for a semester and then come home and then find out that there wasn't enough funds, and so there weren't enough funds, so I worked. And then I worked for a year, then I went back to school, finished the second half of the courses that I'd begun, and then went back to work, and so on, until I finally finished my Parsons degree. And instead of finishing my grand master plan was to have my master's by 21, I didn't even have a BFA by 21. But I did understand the value of education and the cost and the sacrifice that my family was making. So I did a little bit of a crazy thing, and I studied 2 degrees at the same time so that I would get the most out of sort of the price that we were all paying. And I was studying writing, and I was studying also for a BA in writing and a BFA in fashion design. And that BA in writing allowed me to take a lot of like the feminist studies and sort of just a lot of the courses that I think helped me be a better, like, well-rounded individual instead of being a person who knows nothing except for fashion. Anyway, so I do want to say that I think that the educational aspect and the mastering your craft in terms of fashion is extremely valuable, extremely important. It definitely gave me a huge edge above my competitors in the workplace. And then after Parsons, I went to Yale School of Drama, where I studied costume design and fashion history and got my master's there. And after that is where I picked up in our first video a little bit about having launched my business, etc. Although I did do a little bit of costume design for film and theater, opera, dance, etc. But ultimately, my final goal was to do fashion, so I ended up there anyway very quickly. So I just want to inspire you guys that I think I am, my understanding is that I'm the first female Latina to graduate from the Yale School of Drama Design program. So that's exciting, and I think that, you know, whatever your dream is, you should just go for it. And my advice is, in terms of universities, is first just apply to your dream college, get in, and then one way or another you can try to figure out with scholarships and grants if you know you can afford to go. But first I would just try. Anyway, but moving on to what I find more exciting at the moment would be like what we're up to now, what's happening behind the scenes right now. And here at Cristina Ruales, what we're doing right now is, well, we've got some new interns for the semester, and we're working with them and training them. And then at the same time, what we're gonna post next week, well, February 6th, so maybe the week after, I guess, on Monday, we're gonna have a photo shoot that will be a part of our website to show the spring collection that we're going to sell online. And we're sort of focusing on bespoke items at the moment, so if any of you guys are interested in the items that you'll see, especially in February, right now we have some puffers on sale which we've been featuring and some people have been really excited about, so thanks for that. The more support you guys can give us, the further along we can go, and so if you order it, then we'll make it for you and then we'll ship it to you. So we're going to do a photo shoot, and we're really excited to work with Travis W. Keys, who we've collaborated with several times. He was a key part of our New York Fashion Week in the spring, where we did a dance instead of a regular runway show, and that was really amazing. The dancers were incredible. The choreographer was amazing, and basically we're focusing on a photo shoot, and Edward Tricomi, who did my first spring runway show from Warren Tricomi Salons, is going to be doing the hair, and we have amazing key makeup artists, and we're going to be, well, anyway, it's going to be an awesome team. We'll talk more about that next week, but on February 6th, on a Monday, we will be shooting live, and it should be really exciting. So right now, what we're working on is putting our promotion together so that we can share with you visually, according to like our brand identity, our designs that have already been created, and hopefully translate them onto you guys so you guys can get excited about them. And so I guess the big news this year is that we're not participating in the regular New York Fashion Week. This is the first time that we're sort of going to take a pause and take one season off, because I want to become a designer that shows in season, which is what we'll talk about more on our next chat. But basically, there's a huge movement happening right now in the fashion industry, and a lot of studies and conversations with every brand really about what is New York Fashion Week, what is its purpose, how does it function today versus how it functioned before, and how should we be modern and innovative with the current calendar, our weather, and what we should do as a business. So that'll be the big hot topic next week as we get closer to New York Fashion Week and give you an insider a little bit as to what we have done with our New York Fashion Week, what the results have been, and a little bit of behind the scenes stories with that. And well, right now I think we gotta go back and continue getting ready for our photo shoots, and we're working on our website, which is slowly being updated. So hopefully you guys can check that out. We'll also have a link on our website to our YouTube channel where we'll start posting all of these videos. And very soon we're going to ask you to submit videos, and we're going to start really brewing and digging deeper into the idea of female empowerment. And right now, given the Women's Walk, I can't sign off without talking about that bonded so many human beings all over the world. And I have to say, I went with my children. It was such a positive experience. I went here in New York City. I marched with my daughter and my son, who are almost 6 years old. They're twins. And I have to say that, you know, their main question was, what is this about? You know, what, and because so many people had different things they were talking about or chanting about. And I think it might have been something different for everybody. But I think that the concept that was meant to bring us all together, in my opinion, was that we were all marching for human rights and for equality. Not just for women, but for everyone. And I think when you stand up for any group that isn't being treated fairly or equally, you're really standing up for all the groups that fall or that suffer that same sort of bigotry or inequality, basically. So let's start off by accepting that, you know, feminism shouldn't equate, in my opinion, and it's sad when people think that it does, but it shouldn't equate anger, and it shouldn't equate like some kind of idea that women are better than men. It's quite the opposite. It's really that we're all equal, we're all different, and that if we celebrate our differences, we can focus on our strengths. And it shouldn't matter what your gender is, just like it shouldn't matter what religion or color of your skin or your personal beliefs. So regardless of your politics, I think that hopefully when it comes to humanity and equal rights, that sadly it shouldn't be about politics, even though the reality is that when government is in charge of our human rights, it does become a political platform. And in that case, in order to move forward, we do have to accept that and come together. So I hope we can all come together, and maybe you guys can write to us about your most I would say if you guys could please send us on Facebook, and whatever image we write on Instagram related to this, we'll take a shot right now and take a picture, and we'll post the picture of today's shoot. Taylor, will you do that? Yeah. And Taylor's one of our awesome interns. And let's send a positive sentence for the week, and something positive about what we all have in common, something that we all have. I would say to you, for example, to me, we all need a sense of humor, and it doesn't matter what you believe in or who you are, but I think that humor is a key element to bring us all not only to a positive place, but bring us all together. Laughter. So why don't you guys send in whatever sentence inspires you, that makes you just happy that you're a human being and part of this, you know, place that we call, you know, planet Earth. And I hate to sound like so like I mean, I'm not very hippy-dippy at all. If anything, I grew up very punk rock, so, which I think I'll always be, in some ways always irreverent, but I do think that we need to think of the big picture, pay attention to what's happening in the world, and activate and motivate and, you know, band together. And the way that we, everyone band together for the march last weekend, there were marches, everywhere and all over the world. And no matter what your thought is as to what inspired that, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's just an amazing, I've been going to marches my entire life. Since I moved to the United States and living in a suburb of DC, it was so easy for me, whether it was about the whales or female rights has been one for a long time. But I think that, you know, yeah, let's just do that. Let's all talk about positivity and something that makes us happy to be human and something we're grateful for. So that's it for today, and I wish you an awesome week full of laughter and gratitude. Thanks.